If you are looking for a deeper understanding of yourself and the universe, you've been drawn to the right place. I'm really excited for you all to join us today. Nirmala came into the conversation with a very clear idea of a case study she wanted to talk about. And the concept is kind of interesting. It's, people that you might find yourself in these situations where you're having an experience that isn't making sense. There is maybe a divine presence in front of you, or things that are unfolding that your logical mind or your human mind can't make sense of. And you might feel a little isolated from society, a little bit outside of the norm, and aren't quite sure what's going on, whether maybe you're hearing a voice in your mind, or you're seeing something. And this is a conversation I'm super intrigued to have, and to really understand what this is. And we're going to, as always, understand these concepts through studying a specific case, without names or details, but that really allows you to find yourself within it and understand how or if these things occur with you, what might be present. So Nirmala, with that, I don't know if there's anything you want to add as far as an introduction, but I think we can dive in.
Hi everyone. Yeah, nice to see you in this podcast again. Now, yes, me and Daniel were having a discussion, and something that I really wanted to bring into everybody's attention is about their natural state of their geometry. Everyone is born with their natural state of their geometry. Yeah, so we all are one when it comes to that, and we have special qualities and special, how would I say, talents hidden in that. So not everyone is able to come out and unfold it and say, this is who I am and this is how I've been. Yeah. For example, if I were to take myself, it took me ages, take me years and years and years to understand that what I'm actually looking at is geometry. Yeah. The first thing that happened is, yes, as an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, always having this, all of you would have done it. Like you have all these diagrams or colors that comes in front of you, or figures or whatever it is that's coming in front of you. You would have played with it. You would have understood that, okay, so this is coming today and this is it. And you would have had some sort of communication as a child with things. We as humans, we tend to say that we are talking to dolls, toys, and sometimes parents say that she has the habit or he has a habit of talking to himself. Mm-hmm. But sometimes we don't need toys or dolls or anything. We don't need any of those. We are in communication. If you really go and tap into your childhood and you can try to analyze, you would understand there was something, an energy that you're always in communication with. We all came with it. And it took me years and years. I'm telling you, I was an adult, I was working, and yet it was not getting to me in my head that what I'm exactly looking at is geometry. But I'm able to figure out people very easily. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Naturally, it was just happening. And then I communicate and I find out, and I know that I can't go beyond this conversation with this person. Oh, this person, I have to, I have to give them more. I need to give them more. And the other person have to give them less. So all these things was adaptable. Like I was easily into that space. And even trusting someone, I know what is their playful line is, even though somebody thinks the other person is very sensitive, but I know this person is just a playful person. It's just that there's nothing serious about that person, but others can take it wrongly. So I was just, it took me time to sit down and understand that actually I can pull things out, and it's like a opening, come to pull out the whole car into pieces, and then looking at all the metals and engines and saying, all right, this is how things have to go so that this can go. And then how far it can drive. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was such a huge education for me, learning for me, with my process. And I'm very sure there's so many out there, so many of you out there knows there's something about you, but you don't want to come out, you don't want to chat about it, you don't even want to think about it, because if not, you will be outside the norm. Yeah. Yeah. So all of us does that. Yeah, I did it for a very long time. I still remember having a conversation when I was young. I was 10 or 11, telling my brother something, and he says that you always make up stories. And that's what he told me. You are very good in making up stories. And I looked at him and I said, why nobody's getting it? Yeah. But even at that young age, I learned how to, not to tell, but to hide and then be who I am so that I can fit into the community or,
Right.
the way that everything is meant to be. So I don't have to freak out anybody or, so today's, I had an interesting client some time ago, and yeah, she was a very beautiful young woman who came to me in a rush because she was thinking that she's losing it everything. The husband is going to divorce her. She doesn't know where she's getting with everything, where life is pulling her, and even she was convinced by her family that she's going mental. Yeah. And I was thinking of it today, and I said that what a beautiful topic for so many audience. Sometimes you might think that you are not, you are going, something's really going wrong with you in a head space or physical space, just because you are not doing the exact thing like the others. Yeah. Like someone takes a cup and drink it by right hand, even though they're right-handed, but still right-handed people take cups and drink it in left hand. I have that habit. So every individual is different. Every individual is unique, and every one of you are beautiful and complete as you are, right? So coming back to the story about this girl, this young woman, when she came to me, she was how would I say, she was basically thinking that there's nothing in life. It's like everything's done. She's not going to be, there's nothing more to progress. Okay, so she's kind of given up. At the same time, she was ready to take to go into some sort of medication to slow down her brain.
Huh.
But when I saw her, it was interesting things that came up because I still remember she had this. Daniel, is it right? Is it okay if I'm on this side? You think it's
Well,
fine on one?
I can't see you if you're over there.
Yeah,
So
because I use my.
yeah, maybe move it over more.
All right. Are we good here?
Only now. Well, now I can see
yeah,
the outside.
Right. Okay.
I can cut this part out also. We can get this figured out.
So how is this right now?
No,
Really?
the angle's not good. I think when you had it at a sharp angle, it was good.
Sharp angle this way.
Yeah, that's a good angle. You
Maybe
just,
I'm up to it.
yeah, just don't walk too far out of the way. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, you figure it out. Okay. All right. So let's start. So that young woman, when she came to me, what I saw was this, and there was. So I'm just doing it as how I saw it, right? So there was a lot of engagement that was happening within her. Like I saw pyramids and pyramids and pyramids of flow within the sphere. Okay, so there was like a sphere that's moving at the same time. I can see a completeness in her that was happening within her, and then there was like all the tetrahedrons were like in a row. Is ready. It's like moving. It's like so we have different sections of our geometry of divine, and then we have our three that means on the highest, and then on the 9D and 6D, and then we got the 3D geometries, right? So most of the time with clients, what I look at is the 3D geometry. And when I see a higher geometry, I know what conversation I'm opening with them. But when I see a 3D geometry, I know it's going to be more based on grounding, and I know what I'm talking to them about. But with this girl was completely very unique. Yeah. So I saw the sphere that's coming. That means it's coming from every direction that I could think. It was coming from every direction. Yeah. So it's like
Well, is this like energy flowing to her, or like how? I mean, I know you see it geometrically, but is it like energy? What is it that's flowing in it?
Good. It's okay. So it is energy. It is energy. Geometry is energy. So, but the way I see it is that's how I'm seeing. I'm seeing in a very different horizon, in the space and time, that the energy, how the energy is fitting in. So I'm also seeing the past, the present, and the future in someone when I'm looking at the geometry.
So she was just like highly active. There's just a lot going on.
Yes, yeah. So it's like some of them, some people can see light in people that's moving in and out of them all the time, and they call it as an aura. In my case, I'm looking at it as it's more of I'm going to shift this a little bit here and see whether that can help. Is it okay?
Well, then I can see the window behind.
Okay. Because I'm trying to. Which window is this? That window. So let's start with this again. So what we are looking at is energy fields. That means, we as humans, we are a magnet, and the magnetic field from the universe. We have this entanglement, and we have the collapse, and we have these attractions, and we got the repel. All these things happen. So that's the reason sometimes we say that we are very good with certain specific energies. We are not with some energies. Some people come close to us, we don't feel. It's a magnetic energy that we are in contact with. Yeah. So, and then being an energy field, being a light being, we understand that whether we are attracted to that light or we are not, right? So it happens pretty quickly. So the geometry is similar to that, but it's just that I don't even know how to explain it. So that's the reason I thought I'd give the description of how it looks like, but it's not exactly like that. I'm telling you, what I'm seeing is beautiful. This is not beautiful. No justice what I'm doing here. But anyway, so there I'm seeing spheres of spheres just flowing around her. That means she's pulling energy from every direction. At the same time, she's relieving energy from, so whoever's next to her is going to win. It's like, I have this beautiful, when I looked at her, I just wanted to hug her, right? So she has this amazing energy in her. And when I looked at the geometry, and then there was all this thing was happening. Like I can see that there was so much evolving in her without even she putting much effort to it. Like people, you and me, what we do, usually we sit down in meditation, we try to bring ourselves into an alignment so that we can understand that we are collective consciousness, we are working together, we want to help the earth. A person like this, you just have to put them middle of the land, and whatever is dry will become green. So that's how I look at it. Very powerful.
Yeah.
Very powerful, there's more content there, especially when I'm seeing a pyramid, and and within that I also saw the grounding space that she had. That means she's too kind, she's too kind, and she's too kind and too grounded, too compassionate. So everything is holding her here. So what is happening to this person? She knows that something is happening within her. When I see something like this, and when I see and when I see other geometries that going in a different angle together with this, it's like so many things. That means the minute I opened up the session, the geometry is already right in front of me. It's like I don't see her anymore. I don't see her in physical form. This is what I'm seeing. Yeah. So when I'm looking at her, I know this person is get visions all the time. That means they're able to look at things and they know that this is not going to be right, this is going to be wrong, and they're very powerful because but from a certain age, what she has done is that she knew that she's been like that since a child. Yeah. When she was in she didn't tell me, and I'm not mentioning any names here, but from a certain specific age, when she was going through her youth or teenage time, I'm very sure she has abused herself a lot because she tried to trap this brain, the mind. A lot of young people do that, right? So when they're going through a process and they don't understand what's happening, and then they cannot be part of the community, they cannot have this conversation, they can't open themselves to anybody. Anyone would have done that, all right? I would have done that. Good thing I didn't do it. But the thing is that you want to slow that brain, slow that mind, or slow that consciousness that's coming through you, because you are knowing things beforehand, and you are knowing things that others like you will go in and then you feel like someone is not well, you'll be able to tell them this person has definitely got some sort of liver issue or kidney issue or whatever it is, the organs are coming in front of you. So she was one of those, and I find that she was trapped between herself, but at the same time, this beautiful being was so grounded,
Hmm.
was grounded, and in the conversation, when I opened up, I said that so you must be having visions, or maybe in your space is called as nightmares. And she says, yeah, you beautifully put it. I like the dream, but they're still nightmare to me, you know. So she walks into dreams, um, but the thing is that she doesn't tell me anything unless I pull it out from her, because that's how she feel fragile, that she doesn't want to step out of that zone and tell who she really is. So she's really stuck. She's really trapped in that space. So when I went through each one of it, I was able to pull out. So I'm very sure within the audience, a lot of you have had this kind of experience where you are dreaming of something, you're going into a space, and then you are in communication with other beings, or in a so-called, but you cannot come out of the dream and tell your husband or your mom or your sister or your brother and tell that, you know what, yesterday I was in this planet and this is what I was doing. And everything was so quiet. But then I feel like I'm standing in space, and I don't have this human body. I don't feel like I'm standing on something, but I'm traveling with other beings together, and, and it's beautiful. Actually, it's fabulous doing that. But she considered that as a nightmare, because she finds that she can't be in the worldly space doing what she's exactly doing. She wants to go and sleep all the time or get to bed so that she can get into that, because nobody's understanding her in this part of the world. I mean, not in this world, not, yeah.
Well,
So,
can I ask a question, Ramala?
yeah.
This is not exactly relevant, but on a bigger term, like, why are people born with this skill set or these gifts, but with a complete lack of understanding of like how to apply them or where they're relevant? Like, because if you're born with that and you hide it away, it seems like a waste of a gift. And is it just part of that soul's journey, or what?
I mean, you kind of asked the question and you've answered it.
I
So
know I
it
have
is,
to talk through it.
it is,
There we
it is the
go.
soul. It is the soul's journey, definitely. The soul is having this wanted to come in for this experience, but it's too intelligent to come into this earthly experience, isn't it? Because it doesn't keep in that level of frequency, in that level of vibration. So it's coming in here to deliver this message, of the coming in here to be being in that space to hold humanity together. All right. So
That's what I
definitely
was
they came.
thinking. Like, it would be for something bigger than themselves. Like, if you have that gift here on this plane, like, it's got to be for bigger use. But then if
Yeah.
you're not individually understanding it, then, well, it seems
Yeah.
wasted.
Yeah, it's just that because you need to have the right support or guide at that point of time, isn't it? Because you're trying to fit in. But not always they come here to be in a mission. They come here with all these things, and their energy by itself is enough. But they came here for another learning as a human.
Okay.
To become a human and go through a human experience. Yeah. So they come here for another purpose. And it's very interesting to watch this, because it's like not all are coming here to do something, I mean, good for others or good for the earth or whatever it is. But sometimes they come here to do something good finally for themselves.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Right? Even though they and some of the beings are pretty interested in the human life, the affection, the love, the compassion, even the food that we eat, so it's like humans, they are fantastic in the sense, yeah, and when it comes to food, spend so much of time, when it comes to making food and eating, and they're very astonished in that other side of the planet. But coming back to her. So when I saw all these rhythms that's going on, and it's a beautiful rhythm that was going. Actually, I was hearing. I through the geometry. When you see something that's beautiful, actually, you have a music, and I was going into that because geometry is also music, right? It's light and music. And while she's talking, I was just completely falling in love with this girl, because I just want to pick her up and say, hey, this is who you are, wear your, dress up like a queen, and be a queen, So it took me, the one session was enough because I knew that's how it's going to be. So I walked her into the session. So when I walked into the session, I told them, this is what you're going to do. All right. So this is what I'm doing. So just follow my voice. Are you going to trust me and just follow my voice and just go into that space? And she said, okay, I will do it. So we walked into that space. Usually with every session, I have to walk from here up to here till the end. And then I let them this space, because until then I can see focus is going out, 3D self is coming in, and then move in, move out, move in, move out until I get there. But for her, I only had to do this much. And that's it. There she went. It was like, you can see every potential possibility of this being in every, akashic that she could open in that higher resonance, all coming out. And it was all beautiful. It was like very flowery. Everything was like very flourishing, It was amazing. And the minute she went in then, all these things, it's like this. I wish I could. That's why obviously I wish I could have a video. Somebody comes with the innovative technology that they can put the brain in me and watch what exactly I'm seeing. But the minute that happened, everything just softened. You can see the white glaze of rainbow colors and the white glaze of all those geometry, like they were completely in the beautiful cotton, like they were just all orbiting around her. Like sometimes when I go into meditation, all this geometry just around me is like they just circulate around me. Like I don't see any difference of me with them, and and they are completely in me, so they'll just rotate. And I saw that, what, she actually kind of did a lot of healing on me on that day than I did on her, because through the session, because what I saw was beautiful, amazing. It's like, watching something, when you go to the ocean, when you see the mother whale and baby whales and dolphins, and they jump out of the ocean and they swim, and you go into this resonance of complete love, that nature. Yeah. And that's how I was feeling with her when I saw that. And when she got up, it was interesting. She got up and she said, how is that even possible? How was that even possible? I said, let's not doubt anything right now, right? Just not doubt. Make us sit. And then I remember the session went a little bit longer than what I do, because I have to explain to her what has happened and how she blocked it and what she did to herself, so that she won't come out of it, so she can fit into the actual, world that we are in. So she can still fit into the world as she is. At the same time, she can be who she wants to be. Everything's right in front of her. Yeah. She doesn't have to hide herself anymore. And that doesn't mean that she have to go and talk about it all the time. As long as she understands who she really is, and as long as she understands how powerful she is, that's all is needed. From here, if you want to heal something is upsetting you, if you think that people are not understanding you, you want your partner to understand you, you already have it. Send this beautiful light towards them and see what happens. So she went into a practice for almost with me for, I think she was ongoing. So it took us about 3-4 months to sustain everything, to come to bring it to a balance. That means more of an earthly balance, right? While she can stay in a frequency, but to bring it to a balance, there was a lot of, it's like teaching a child to walk. Yeah. Yeah. So now how she's going to experience herself as a human, but as a light being together, in a higher space, in a higher time and space. So it was very beautiful the way she did it. There was a little bit of hiccups here and there, because when you start doing things like that out of the norm and becoming yourself, it's going to be difficult. It's not easy, because she's already been isolated. Her friends doesn't talk to her anymore. Her family thinks this, it's a lot of things, and she's already found a dark room that she can always go and hide. So now we have to bring her out into the light and make sure that her light is present everywhere. Yeah. And the beautiful thing is that she was also expecting at that time. All right. She was 6 months pregnant at that time. So that's the reason everything even became a little bit more tight, and how would I say, it became it was not fitting in, and it was like things are not progressing and become so disheartened. All these were happening because the hormones, of course, the pregnant lady can understand. And with that, and with what was happening, and with the baby in there, things were now sparking even further. Was even because you got another light within you. Yeah. So it was a beautiful portal that was opening in her to make her understand who she really is, right? Usually during pregnancy, they say that when the mom is having a child, the opportunity of a portal opening is possible for mothers. This, or while they're grieving for someone who passed away, there's a chance of portal opening. So the few stages that humans can experience that. So for her, she already in the portal. She
Mhm.
doesn't get into it, but having another being within her, there was something else that was happening in her. Now, yeah, so this is my message, in the sense, like trying to bring out this scenario, and understanding the geometry of having a solidness to the platonic solids around you, having the solidness to having the sequence of the high vibrational geometry within you. It shows that you've already been crowned. Now you just have to act. You just have to now express. All you need to do is to express. All right. Not expressing why the other person is not understanding you. Express that now you understand the other person.
Mhm. It all comes down to self-awareness, I feel like, always. That's what this journey seems to be. It's understanding yourself better and the uniqueness that you are, and bringing it out. And once you do, it's amazing what flows, but it is a little intimidating and confusing. Um, and I've never had an experience like her, or I don't have a gift that I'm like not sure how to bring out, but I can only imagine. And you said something that I want to ask you about, these portals that open up. So you mentioned that when a woman's pregnant, so you're bringing in, more light to this world, and then when a light leaves, when someone's passed away. So can you go into that a little bit more? And what do you mean by portal? Is that like a chance to shift your conscious level of awareness quickly, or like bring in more light, more, what does it mean?
Okay. Before I bring in the portal, I have to tell you that everybody has got a gift. Yeah. Everybody comes in with intelligence, because when you're saying that, I didn't want to interrupt, but everybody comes in. So that's the whole reason I started the workshop, which I'm initiating anyway, because everyone has got a gift. Yeah. So it's about bringing your own potent, own resonance of your completeness in front, right? You're a sovereign self. If you're a light being, where's the light is placed, So in the 3D level, we go through our senses to feel it. Yeah. Some people do ask me whether do you see these things or you hear these things? I use all the senses on this.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. My hearing is so good that nobody can, even, everybody in my family knows, my hearing is so good. Even though I'm upstairs, I can hear a lot of things. So you can see that when you are really practicing all the time, a lot of your senses gets better. And somebody asked me why you're wearing glasses. I find that there's a lot of things in this earth that I didn't want to see. So I have to have glasses, because I do block myself in a lot of things. Yeah. So it's not that without the glasses I can't see. Yes, of course. I only use glasses when I'm using the computer, because artificial technology doesn't agree with me that well. So anyway, coming back to your other question about the portals. Now, portals is something that can be described in a lot of ways, right? So for some people, portals is like going into a mystical place. That mystical place opens, right? And portals can also be very much like a temple, like a divine space that you can walk into. And a portal also can be where it opens up, and you are able to find yourself. All right. So portals is very much in the mystical, divine, every aspect of it, you can see it. So when a portal opens, that means it's bringing you to a higher dimension to let you recognize your higher self. That means the organic self. All right. So who you really are. Yeah. So not everyone will just jump in and do that. Some people start questioning about it. Some people will just shut it down. And some people will say, I had a lot of experience with people where the portal opens, and they start seeing things that they've never seen before after losing a loved one, was very, very deeply loved ones. Yeah, I have a few scenarios on that, where they are able to recognize that they are seeing something, and then now they said that even the nature is greener. They never seen that kind of green before, because now they're seeing the organic version of the green.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think the whole message on this regards to this session that I did with this young woman is to bring it to everyone that all of you are special. There's something about you that you all are hiding. There's nothing that is concrete about this world, and there's nothing, but there's more awakening. There's more people are now stepping out. The awakening has happened a long time ago, but more people are now stepping out of that comfort zone to see or to say or to view things in a very different manner. Yeah. So I think you just have to believe in yourself that you are a gift. You're definitely a gift to this earth. And you are here for an experience, a human experience. And the human experience is to resonate in completely understanding, knowing that's fear and love at the same time, but completely embracing the fear, completely embracing the love, and then allowing the fear to be there. The fear is going to be there.
I embrace it too. Yeah.
So it's two sets of oceans, you don't have to jump into the fear, right? So the ocean can be there. It doesn't matter. As long as you don't react to it, it's fine. Always find the space for the love. The minute you jump into that, you'll find everything about you. All right. So from there, I'll leave it with you, Danielle. Is there any other questions?
No, I think that was beautiful, and I appreciate you bringing an awareness to this, and I think it will open up a lot of people to feel comfortable to reach out. And always, guys, if you want to have a conversation or want to speak, you can always mention something in the comments or reach out to us directly through our website. And please do that. This community is a powerful community, and incredibly grateful to you, Nirmala, for shining light on that topic.
Thank you.
So welcome to this community of spiritual beings, all looking to amplify their human experience. And we're grateful to have you tuning in. And remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for notifications. Have a beautiful rest of your day.